welcome to the 2026 McLaren Mastercard Formula One team launch, and a warm welcome to all the fans watching on YouTube and Sky Sports. Over the next 40 minutes, we will be looking back on the 2025 season that saw the team becoming double world champions. And we'll be looking ahead to the upcoming season. Shortly, we will be unveiling the brand new car, and of course, we'll be talking to the key personnel of the team, including Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri. We are live here in Bahrain, and it's showtime. This is what we are all here to see, straight from the garage, the MCL 40. Tom, just how excited are you?
Hugely excited to see the new car, but Ariana, the start of every Formula One season is exciting, and this one feels especially so. We've got the biggest rule changes in the history of Formula One and a hugely talented grid of drivers, so a lot to look forward to.
There's so much to look forward to. Now, given the success of the team in 2025, I think it's only right that we start by talking to the drivers themselves. Let's welcome Oscar Piastri. And our reigning world champion, Lando Norris. Welcome, welcome guys. Get comfortable, sit down. Lovely to see you both. Now, we are going to get chatting, but before we get into the questions about yourselves and about the car, let's just remind ourselves of the incredible 2025 season.
Can McLaren make it 2 in a row?
We're more comfortable now playing to win.
We're both going to be trying our best to win.
One goal, World Championship.
Let's go, baby.
Lando Norris wins the Australian Grand Prix.
Beautifully handled. Amazing way to start the year. Thank you so much.
Oscar Piastri wins 3 Grand Prix in a row.
Well done, everyone. That was pretty damn fun. Let's keep it going.
Lando will join the legendary winners of this race.
Monaco, baby. Yeah, baby.
Oscar Piastri to the race lead.
Nicely done.
The crowds have risen for Lando Norris.
The history of this place makes it so much more special.
Apart from a championship, I think this is as good as it gets.
Love you so much.
McLaren, Constructors Champions of 2025.
Great team effort. That was mega.
To achieve it with this many races to go is very, very impressive.
I'm so proud to be part of it all. Beautiful. Simply beautiful.
McLaren looks mighty. Lando Norris is the Formula One world champion.
You did it. You did it. You made a history come true. Thanks so much.
What an incredible season. Lando, let's come to you first. How does it feel to look back on 2025, the year that you became world champion?
It's beautiful. It's amazing. I mean, when I look at the end, obviously in Abu Dhabi, but also when I look back at just the season, the journey that it was, Silverstone, Monaco, obviously wrapping up the constructors as a team, just a lot of amazing moments. Of course, some not so good ones as well, but it's nice to look back on such an incredible year, and obviously to end in that way was even better.
And Oscar, you got the 7 wins last year. Just tell us a little bit about your off-season. You've been back to Australia. Are you raring to go?
Yeah, ready to go again. It was nice to get back home and see my family, see my friends, enjoy a couple of extra weeks of summer as well. So all recharged and ready to go again.
That's what we like to hear, Oscar. Now, looking ahead, it's a big year, huge regulation changes. Lando, can you just give us an understanding of the anticipation that you're feeling leading up to Melbourne?
Sure. I mean, I think we're all excited to get the season going. It honestly doesn't feel like that long ago. We just finished the season, so it's come around quickly. But you know, we got a test here in Bahrain that we're excited for, and there's a lot of new things on the car that we have to prepare for, learn about. As well as the team, so excited to get the test going, but also, you know, if I could skip ahead to Australia now and press go for the weekend, that's something I would do, and yeah, very excited.
Oscar, Lando talks about a lot of new things on the car. Just how different do you think Formula One is going to be in 2026?
I think it's going to be a big challenge for all of us. Obviously, the cars are changing themselves, but the power units especially, you know, we've had the same engines for the last 10 years or so, and that's going to be a pretty big difference to get our head around, which is you know, obviously a big part of why we've got so much testing this year. And then the cars themselves, you know, their behaviour is quite different to what we've had the last few years. So just getting used to a lot of different things is going to be exciting and a point of difference, or a place where you can make a difference. So it's going to be pretty exciting, that's for sure.
And have the new regulations changed your approach to season prep at all, Lando?
Not massively. I mean, you still prepare in a lot of the same ways. Probably a bit more time has been spent on the sim, trying to get used to the different buttons, the different way things work. So more procedural stuff rather than anything else changing outside of that. But you know, like every season, you review how the last year went and you see what you can do better, and a lot of the work thing goes into that. But with this year, with the new regulations, there's more like changes on the steering wheel and things like that we can already start to focus on the simulator and help us prepare for here in Bahrain and Australia.
Let's elaborate on the steering wheel, Oscar. Are you going to be busier in the cockpit this year than you were in 2025?
Definitely, yeah. There's going to be more for us to think about. I think, you know, we've had the hybrid element of the power units previously, but there's much more significance around it this year. A lot more power comes from the battery. You can use it up a lot quicker, you can recharge it a lot quicker, so it's a much more kind of dynamic thing that we'll have to keep an eye on. And yeah, it's one more thing for us to focus on, but the aim of trying to go as fast as you can is still exactly the same, but yeah, definitely there's going to be a few more challenges for us behind the wheel.
So interesting. Guys, thank you so much for kicking off the show with us. We'll be talking to you later for the big unveiling.
Thank you, guys.
Right, let's just take a moment now to have a look at some pretty spectacular images. As you can see, here in Manama in Bahrain, the city has been lit up in Papaya to celebrate the launch of the MCL40. The sky and the city has turned Papaya. And Tom, I mean, just look at this.
It's amazing images, isn't it? And it reminds you of the history and the legacy of McLaren. And I think we should add that it was 60 years ago this year that Bruce McLaren lined up on a Formula One grid for the first time, Monaco, 1966.
Pretty impressive, and we can see as well that the Bahrain International Circuit is also in Papaya. It's pretty cool here, I've got to say, guys, it really is. But let's get back to the show now. I would like to welcome CEO of McLaren Mastercard Formula One team, Zak Brown, and our Chief Marketing Officer, Lou McEwen. Hello, welcome. Lovely to see you both. Zak, we just saw some incredible shots of the city and the track all lit up. Feels like we're in the Papaya era.
We're definitely in the Papaya era, and it's so awesome to be here in Bahrain, you know, led by the Crown Prince of Bahrain and Mumtalakat, our longtime shareholders. They put on such an event for us. And I get on the plane, and everyone feels like a Papaya McLaren fan. So absolutely amazing support that we have from them, and of course Simon from Abu Dhabi, where we've had some pretty exciting races the last couple of years. And in this Papaya era, which is now also the McLaren Mastercard Formula 1 era. And of course, this is all about fans and our engagement with them and their participation in our racing team.
And Lou, just building on that, talk to us a little bit more about what papaya means for McLaren and the fans.
Well, papaya's at the heart and centre of our brand. You know, we've been papaya since the early days of the team back in the 1960s. It's part of our legacy. Bruce McLaren obviously chose that as the colour to go racing then. And I don't think the team could be prouder. You know, when we go racing around the world, we show up in cities and fans show their support united in papaya. Makes us extremely proud.
Zak, can we just pause for a minute? It's been an incredible 10 years for McLaren, culminating in, you know, these back-to-back world championships. What aspect of that are you most proud of?
But definitely our people. All the men and women at McLaren have just done an outstanding job. Not only outstanding people, but the way they've come together as a team and the culture that's created has just produced fantastic results on the track and engagement with our fans. It's a very happy environment, and happy people produce great racing cars.
And Lou, it's of course not just about the team, as Zak mentioned, it's the fans as well. And you guys did some mega fan experiences last year. Just remind us of some of them.
So just before the British Grand Prix, we turned London's Trafalgar Square papaya in a fan-first event. It was a great opportunity to fans to engage with the team like never before. And I guess whilst the sport's seen such incredible growth over the last couple of years, we know that very few of those fans ever get to go to a track in their lifetime.
And I have to obviously ask, what can we look forward to for 2026?
We're working on a few things. So not long now, obviously before we head to Melbourne for the start of the season, we'll be showing up on the beach there in partnership with Puma and Mastercard with a fan event. And then just a few months after that, we'll be heading to Miami for something pretty exciting.
Lou, you love an anniversary, don't you?
We do. We've got a fantastic legacy to celebrate. As we race in Miami, it'll actually be our 1000th Grand Prix. Wow. So we've got some big plans there.
Oh, I can't wait to see that. Zak, anything else for you to announce?
Of course, but I think I'm going to let the TV do the work for us. But as we've been discussing, we have a huge focus on our fans, so I think they're going to be extremely excited about this.
Okay. Engine on. Visor down. Revs up. It's happening. And whether you accept it or not, it's only a matter of time before it takes over. For some, it happens early. You could say they're born with it. For others, it can take a bit longer. But when it hits, you'll know about it, and it never seems to leave. Hunt, Senna, Bruce, they all had it. And if your heart races when the lights go out, you do too.
McLaren, Constructors Champions of 2025.
It's an obsession that turns passion into podiums, science into speed, fans into a papaya family. And now, that obsession has a new home. McLaren Racing Club, where born racers belong.
Okay, this looks pretty cool for the fans.
Amazing.
Lou, tell us more about the McLaren Racing Club.
The McLaren Racing Club is supercharging our fan experience as we go racing in 26. It'll bring personalised, exclusive content to our fans, as well as access to some of those incredible experiences that I mentioned earlier.
So how do the fans get involved, Lou?
So it's for fans wherever you are in the world. It's free and it's inclusive, and we'll be sharing more across our social channels as we head to Melbourne. So keep posted.
Okay, keep your eyes across that. Lou, thank you so much for joining us. Zak, you stay right here, because in a very few minutes, we are going to be revealing the brand new MCL 40 live from the Bahrain International Circuit. But before we get to that, there is one man that we have to speak to about the new car and the season ahead. I'm delighted to welcome team principal Andrea Stella. Hello, Andrea. Ciao.
Ciao, Tom.
Great to see you. Ciao.
Lovely to see you, Andrea.
Thank you.
Now, although it feels like it hasn't actually been that long because it's been the shortest off-season in recent memory. So tell us, what has it been like at the MTC over the last few months?
Well, definitely a short off-season. Last year in December we were in Abu Dhabi for the final race and then the test that followed. And this year at the end of January we were already testing with the new cars in Barcelona. So a short period, and I would like to take this opportunity to thank the entire team at McLaren and also our technical partners at HPP for the hard work that led to the MCL40.
Zak, the team has built up incredible momentum over the last couple of years. Do you think that gives you an advantage coming into this new era?
Well, I think you can look at it two ways. I think our advantage is our people and our team, and we've had very little change. We've had a few additions, great additions to the racing team, but we've got a great period of stability. You'll recognize everyone on pit wall. You'll recognize everyone back at the factory, and it's those great men and women that have produced these great race cars these last few years. That being said, we're starting over again, and everyone's drawing from a clean sheet of paper. So from that standpoint, all 11 teams starting from the same spot, but I wouldn't bet against our people, but this sport is unbelievably competitive, and it's going to be a pretty fearsome season this year. Very much looking forward to it.
Oh, we are too, Zak, we are too. Andrea, touching on those consecutive Constructors' Championships again though, what do you feel are the biggest lessons that you learned from them?
Well, as you say, a very successful couple of years at McLaren, back-to-back Constructor Champions, then the Drivers' Championship, and we need to get, though, better and better. So we reflect on success, you learn from reflecting on success, but at the same time we also have to say that we have not been perfect. So there's many lessons learned that we need to capitalize, and Formula One is a game in which you have to get better and better because all the competitors raise the bar more and more year after year. So that's definitely the name of the game, get better and better every year.
Zak, can I take you back to Monza last year when in Q3 the top 10 was separated by just 0.8 of a second. It was incredibly close all year, but particularly there. Do you think with these new rules it's going to be as close in 2026?
Well, I think it's going to be as exciting. I think anytime you have new regulations, the gap seems to open up a little bit and then it consolidates. So 0.8, that was kind of 5 years of a degree of stability in regulations and things converge. So I'm not sure 0.8 will cover the field this year in Monza, but I think it'll be very close. And I think to be winning races, you're going to have to be on your A game as much as ever. All the competitors in Formula One are amazing racing teams. So what it will be is every bit as exciting as last year.
Can we just take a step back and just think, in terms of these new regulations, just how excited are you for Formula One as a whole for this new era?
Yeah, I look forward to a very exciting new era for Formula One. There will be a lot to discover, a lot to understand. It will be so for the teams, for the drivers, and for the fans as well. So definitely for all the fans, I think a season ahead to stay tuned.
And Zak?
Yeah, I think it's going to be amazing. We've never seen these types of technologies deployed in any form of motorsport, and there's a lot of change. There's not a wheel nut has been carried over from 2025 to 2026. So as Andrea said, we as the team need to understand how to maximize the car, as will the drivers, and then I think it's going to be a development race. But you talk about one of our secret sauce, our driver lineup. I wouldn't bet against either of them. 14 wins last year, 7 each. What an awesome pairing we have, and excited to go racing with both of them again this year.
Continuing this theme, how important is it for Formula One to keep innovating, keep coming up with new rules, keep challenging the teams?
I think that's what Formula One has always been about. So I think that's what makes it so exciting when you get into car launches and new eras. And, as Andrea said, we need to learn a lot, so will the fans. But I think that's exciting to understand because these cars are unbelievably sophisticated, and all the men and women that are designing, building, working these cars, it's fascinating. So I think we're just scratching the surface. It's early days.
I love that. Yeah. Thank you both very much. We'll be catching up a little bit later on. Now it's the moment that you have all been waiting for, the reveal of the MCL 40. Let's have a look. Wow. Well, there we have it. My goodness, this is my first time seeing it, so I'm very excited, but I'm going to come straight to you guys. Lando, Oscar, reactions, please.
I think it looks great. Obviously, a bit more papaya this year, especially at the front, which is nice. But you know, obviously keeping with a very similar livery to what's been successful for the last few years. So yeah, just a small tweak, but it's good to see that there's more papaya on there.
Lando?
Similar things. Yeah, some small tweaks, like Oscar said. Main thing is we keep the papaya. We don't change things too much. As I love the test livery that we had, this is the one that's always going to be better throughout the course of a season on TV and all those things. So sticking to what worked.
Now, Zak, the car looks noticeably different, but as the guys have touched on, livery is very similar, and as they've said, there is a reason for that. That's intentional.
We don't want to change what's been successful, and the papaya looks amazing. Our partners are awesome. This Mastercard era and Gemini with Google and OKX. I mean, the list goes on of just unbelievable companies that are supporting us. Car's a little bit smaller. When you hear it, sounds good. The HPP Mercedes engine is amazing. So I'm looking forward to getting racing.
Now, Andrea, you've been in Formula One for 25 years. You've seen a lot. Is this car, this era of car, unlike anything you've ever seen before?
Well, every generation of new cars brings a new character. I think this car has character. It's cool, it's racy, and I think it's good that it's also a little narrower, a little shorter, a little lighter. I think we have gone probably a bit too far with the previous generation. I think this will be very good Formula One cars.
Now, you both have been able to get behind the wheel of the car at the Barcelona shakedown. Oscar, what was it like being behind the wheel? How did the shakedown go?
It was good to get back out on track, and you know, I think experience, you know, just how different these cars are going to be from you know, various different angles that we mentioned before. But at the end of the day, it's still a Formula One car. It's quick, and especially in a straight line nowadays, the acceleration with these new engines is seriously impressive. So it's going to be fun to get back out again in Bahrain and get stuck into it properly in Melbourne.
Lando, what kind of feel were you getting from the car behind the wheel? Did it remind you of one of the pre-ground effect cars that you drove when you first came into Formula One?
I mean, it certainly feels different to all the ones that I've raced. So it's definitely more, you know, pre-2017, 18. So not really like I've driven, but more like almost like F2 in some ways, in terms of more power, a bit more undergripped. Which is going to make it more of a challenge behind the wheel, which is exciting. You know, it's our job to drive whatever we get driven in the end of the day.
I sure hope it's not like our 2017 car.
You know, it definitely won't be. So, yeah, it's exciting. We know we're in a better place than we've ever been, and excited to see, you know, what the team have put together for sure.
Lando, more power, less grip. Bring on the first wet race, right?
Well, yeah, that's. I'm sure that's in the back of everyone's mind is what that's going to be like, especially Melbourne. You know, like Melbourne race last year was chaos. If we don't get to test until then, it's going to be something new for everyone and a big challenge for us inside the car. So something I think we're all looking forward to.
And Oscar, is there a particular track that you think these new cars will be suited to, or ones that you're really looking forward to getting out on?
I think
Bahrain.
Yeah, Bahrain.
Yeah. Let's start there.
Yeah, exactly. I think generally the tighter, slower speed circuits will be a bit better in these cars. Obviously, as we've said, a bit smaller, a bit narrower, a little bit lighter as well. So places like Monaco, Singapore, hopefully they're a little bit more friendly for these cars. The high-speed circuits are going to be quite different because that's where the previous generations of cars were so impressive. But I think generally the smaller circuits hopefully will be a little bit more, not that they weren't fun before, but I think they'll suit these smaller cars a little bit better.
And Zak, it's been such a tour de force by the whole team to create this car. Just how did it feel to see it hit the track for the first time at the Barcelona shakedown?
It's amazing the amount of work the men and women at McLaren put in everybody, right? There are those people that touch and build the car, but the team effort of the entire group to come together to build this car is amazing to watch it come together, and a very, very proud moment when you see it fire up for the first time.
I can only imagine. Zak, Oscar and Lando, thank you so much for joining us for the reveal and to chat through. We will be back with you guys for the grand finale shortly, but you may go and get comfy on the sofas because we are going to delve into some of the technical detail now. Andrea, you're sticking with us, and we are welcoming Chief Designer Rob Marshall. Hello, Rob.
Hi.
Lovely to have you with us. Thank you for joining us. Okay, first question has to be, just how big of a project has the MCL40 been?
Well, there's at least 18 months of work behind the making of this car, lots of design, lots of innovation, production, manufacturing. It's been a huge undertaking, but no one is more qualified than Rob to actually explain it. So I would hand it over to you, Rob.
Okay. Yeah, so it's all new car, front to back, new regulations. As people have touched upon, cars a bit shorter. It's actually quite a lot shorter than previous cars, a lot lighter. Coupled with a brand new power unit, 50/50 hybrid, and a new set of aero regulations designed to try and reduce the size of the weight behind the car, make overtaking a bit easier. If you start from the front, the new front wing is still sort of arrowhead like the previous generation, but it's a bit lower and have a much broader and wider footplate, end plate than we used to have. And also the front wing is now actuated, much like the old DRS. These new cars have got a straight line mode where both the front and rear wings will move their flaps to reduce the drag on the car and help the car get down the straights faster. There's quite a lot of freedom on how you actuate that. I think we'll see different solutions from different cars on the grid. Moving a bit further back, you've got the nose, the crash structure, which is basically from here to here. That's all new again. The regulations have changed this year where we need to make sure that after us, like a small shunt, that's enough to knock the front wing off, maybe the front half of the nose, the remaining part still serves its function as in saving the driver in a secondary crash against another barrier. So that's significantly complicated the design work going into the nose. Then we've got front suspension. Again, last year's front suspension was, I think, very innovative, and so is this. We've done quite a few changes, which I hope benefit us. And as we go rearward, then we've got the main body of the chassis. Again, all new regulations, much tougher homologation requirements. So the crash tests and the squeezes that go into the chassis are quite brutal this year. And a lot of effort and research has gone in to try and make those, make the car able to withstand those. Also, as I touched upon, the car's so much shorter. So a lot of the packaging of where radiators and electrical boxes, which were typically scattered around the car, finding homes for those has been very difficult. There's just less space to put them all. What's helped us there is the fuel tank is a bit smaller. We're going to use less fuel in the race. From an aerodynamic point of view, in this region here, gone are the very sort of curved underfloors that we had with last year's cars. We're replaced with a much more flat bottom car like we had in previous generations. And then as we go rearward again, we've got our rear suspension is actually a bit of an iteration of last year's. We're quite very happy with what we did last year, and so we just built upon that. Redesigned the gearbox to make it lighter and shorter for the obvious reasons. And then the rear wing is similar-ish to last year's, and the actuation mechanism is a bit like old school DRS, but it's now mounted on two pylons, and yeah, it will now operate in conjunction with the front wing, as I said.
Huge work
It's
by
a massive amount,
everyone at the MTC. What has been the most challenging aspect in the design of it?
I think the most challenging aspect has been coordinating the design and timing it with last year, really, when we were obviously fighting for one championship and looking to get our best foot forward for the next. So deciding when to put all your effort into this is probably the hardest thing, actually.
And Andrea, how steep of a learning curve has this project been, and how steep of a learning curve will it continue to be as we go through the year?
Yeah, very steep. Every day was important. Every day we accumulated some design, some innovation, some performance, but it will stay the same throughout the season. So irrespectively of the pecking order at the first race, I think the first season will be a game of development, and who will have developed the most actually may be the successful one at the end of the season.
And I have to ask, did challenging for the championship so late into 2025 have any impact on the 2026 development?
You know, we needed to reflect on the resources that we invested on pursuing the championship and onto the new car. We think we have achieved the right balance, so we are optimistic that the MCL 40 will be a strong contender.
It's still very early days, but do you know where the main development areas are going to be with this car?
Well, it's all new, like Rob explained, but the reference will always be made by the fundamentals. So the development will be to achieve the maximum aerodynamic efficiency, to get the car to interact with the tires as well as possible, mechanical grip with the suspensions, and it will also go in the power unit. And this year, more than ever, I think the power unit will depend on how the drivers interact with the power units. So lots of areas to develop, lots of areas to make the difference with.
And do you think the drivers are going to be on top of it when we go to Melbourne, or do you think they'll continue to learn as the season progresses?
I think the learning curve will involve this area as well, you know, like interacting with the power unit. And this is also because we engineers, or all the engineers, HPP, McLaren, all teams, will learn more and more about the power unit, will develop the power unit. So the drivers will have to stay in tune with this development. It's interesting, something to look forward to.
We have the drivers right over there and I can see them discussing with one another. Are you agreeing with what Andrea and Rob are saying here about needing to stay in tune?
Absolutely, yes.
Absolutely, of course, of course.
Do you think you'll be fully on top of it by the time we go to Melbourne, or will it take more time?
Absolutely, yes.
As Zak says, that's why we get paid a lot, so we better be.
Love that, absolutely love that. Thank you very much, guys. Well, it looks fantastic, and what an event this has been. Thank you so much for the insight, Rob and Andrea, and taking us through all of this. We're going to get everyone back here. Lando and Oscar, you come and join us over on this side, and Lou and Zak, you come and join us too. Final words, I think, need to go to you two. So Oscar, coming to you first. What are your final words for everyone who's watching back at home?
Yeah, thank you very much for all the support, and thank you to the whole team as well. Obviously we've got the team here trackside, but the team back at the factory as well that have made this car, and hopefully it's as successful as the last couple. But thanks to all the fans, all our partners as well for making this possible as well. And yeah, looking forward to another successful year, hopefully.
That's what we're looking for. And Lando, you will be rolling out with the number 1 on the car.
Yes. No, I'm excited. This, and with my suit and everything, like it's pretty special to look at. So special for me, special for the whole team. You know, I have a championship, and also we have a championship to try and defend. But like Oscar said, Oscar covered it well. To see it all together, this is the first time I've seen it all together, is huge props to everyone in MTC back at home, everyone here who's just put it together now. And it's nice to reveal it here in Bahrain, but our second home as a team. So a pleasure and excited to get behind the wheel.
Thank you very much. Thank you all for joining us, and good luck for the season ahead. Now, it wouldn't be right if we didn't finish this with a bang. So we're going to head outside and let's go, shall we? Let's have a little look at this. Come on, guys.
like you've just won in.
But that was cool.
That was crazy.
Awesome.
There we go.
Cool.
Thank you.
That was cool.
Ah, the smell of gum.
We're going to flip a coin now who goes out on the track first tomorrow to clean it.
That was awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
I've no idea, were we